Hello, dividend executives. Welcome back. The stock market is open, so you already know we are buying stocks and we are adding assets to the portfolio. We are slowly but surely building each and every single week. We buy more shares. We get passive income checks. We take those checks. We buy more shares of other companies that we're trying to stack and other stocks and ETFs. And slowly but surely, we build this dividend snowball as we work our way towards $5,000 a month in pure passive dividend income. So let's break it down. Let's look at what we received over the last week. Let's spend some of that money on some new assets, and let's take a look at how we're looking for the month. So if we look at the time from last week, I think we did the last video on the 30th. So we go all the way back to the 30th. We got MSTY that came in at $118. Ulty, our first massive payment, came in at $163, and that's on 1,619 shares. Of course, we reinvested that, which is crazy to see that our reinvestment bought us almost 27 shares on drip. Love to see that stack. YMAX came in at 82.30, QDTE at 59.48, XDTE at 55.91. JEPQ came in at 22.19, TSLW at 15.05, and HOOY came in at 41.70. We made a massive purchase last week on HOOY. We brought it up to 50 shares, so we're rocking and rolling on that. And we're just doubling and tripling down. So account sitting at about $47,500 as of right now, up for the day, for the week, down about 1.2% for the month, up about 1.8%. Year to date, up 9.94%, basically 10%. 1 year up 35%. All time since we moved this account over, we are up 41.28% or 13,858, which is not bad for a non-growth portfolio. This is high yield stocks, a little bit of growth mixed in there, but for the most part, we don't have a whole lot of growth here. As the account scales up, we will start to scale in more growth, and we'll probably do that via either QQQ or SPY, but we'll get to that at another date. Buying power, 3,964. We have some options on the table, and we're absolutely rocking and rolling with the options. I sold some BIT outputs, small premium here. We got paid $6, but I was trying to buy some more shares. As of right now, it looks like I'm not going to get those shares, but you never know. It's possible that we'll get it later. BITO is trading at about $20.89. So if not, free money. If we do, then we get the shares. MSTX puts, we had a massive pullback last week. The volatility was through the roof, and I doubled and tripled down. We have we collected 184 on the roll from last week. We collected 20 on some singles, and yeah, we're up $218 on this options play. And this was low delta. I mean, you can look at the delta now. This delta is sitting at 0.004. If this got assigned, I mean, we're talking like 40% pullback. So that's chilling. We're just taking that money and we're just adding it straight to the power. I mean, really good week. We're off to an awesome start there. Gosh, man, it makes me want to just start trading some options in this account, but I shouldn't do it. But I know it's a way that I could add thousands of dollars to this account, but I'm just going to keep it dividends and just sprinkle in some options with Robinhood's money so that we can have some extra gravy on it. When we come to the stocks, this is what we're looking at. SEHD and VTI have the plus sign, of course, because every single day we buy $5 each of both of those as we move towards our 250 share count goal on SEHD. And then I think our VTI share count goal was sitting at 15. So we're moving towards those. YMAX capped out at 500. QDT capped out at 250. JEPQ hit our 50 goals, so we're good there. XDTE, we need to get that to 250. And then ulty, I'm dripping this one all the way to 2,000. We'll see where we're at once we get to the 2,000 mark. But as of right now, the drip's getting crazy. And every single week that we keep getting these 10-cent payouts, things are just going to start stacking. TSLW, we're at the 50 shares. We're chilling there. HOOW, I want to talk about this one because this is one we've been doubling down on. On the first, I decided to buy another $1,600 worth of this at the 63.91 to average our cost down and to add to our position. That's why we got this massive $41 payout. And yeah, things are looking really good. So we ended up purchasing that. HOOY is trading at about $65.81. We're down 1%. Just yesterday, we were up on the position. So this one's holding NAV pretty well. And we're getting some nice payouts too. So obviously down 34 total return. But even this week alone, we got $41. So we're really up in the total return there. So that's looking nice. And then the rest of our NVDY, CONY, MSTY, and TSLY are all at 100 shares. They're capped and they're on full payback mode. And we're getting really close to house money, which is where things get absolutely wild. So that's where we're sitting as of right now. I want to go over, I created this image as always to see how we're going to be spending money this week and how much we're going to be spending. reinvested. So automatic reinvestment, you saw ulty, you saw XDTE, you saw HOW, stuff like that. We reinvested about just under $250, so $238 of reinvestment automatically. Then we added another $100 worth of fresh cash like we do every single week. QDT about $60 there, not reinvested, so we can spend that. MSTY 118, TSLY or TSLW 15, and then YMAX 82. Those positions all add money to the account, and we did not reinvest those, so that means we can reinvest it on our own. And what are we going to put it in? Well, this is what we're putting it in. And the reason why we're putting it in this is because I want to get closer to the 250 share count goal, and we still have a ways to go, because basically what I'm trying to get at is I want QDT and XDT at my 250 share count goal and reinvestment off, so that $100 every single week of reinvestment money is up and able for me to spend on other assets. I want to get there. And so we're going to do that. So we're going to come in here. We're going to buy, what does it say? 375. Oh, not 375 shares. That'd be wild. And let me just double check that. Yeah, 375. So we're going to buy $375 worth. That's going to buy us 8.5 shares, which is going to be massive, right? We're going to increase. This one's paying, roughly 23 to 25 cents a week. So a really, really nice increase there. And then on the ulties front of things, as we're getting reinvestments, we're adding about $2.50 a week to the drip. So overall, I mean, we're going to be adding 10, 20, 30 bucks a month to the bottom line just from our reinvestment on the shares we purchased. So some new shares there, just purchased, not sure what's going on with the average cost there. But yeah, that's where we're sitting. 229 shares now, 10,090. Where's the market value? 17% of the portfolio. And bada bing, bada boom, we've taken some of our passive income and we reinvested to increase more of our passive income for the following week. So that's where we're sitting as of right there. And then I want to go over some dividends that are coming out this week, right? So we're going to come up in here and we're going to go to Yield Max. We'll take a look here. So a couple of things to look at here. We do have TSLY coming in at another low one as always. It's going to be 30 cents per share. So we're going to collect about 30 bucks there. We have YMAX coming in at 14.5 cents. It could be worse, could be better. Not too stoked about it, but whatever. 14 cents. We have 14.5 cents. We have 500 shares. Nice payout coming there. Ulti, again, at the 10 cent mark, which is absolutely wild. We have, just under, what do we have? 1,650 shares or so on Ulti. So we're going to have a nice payout coming in there. And then you can see YMAG coming in at 0.07. When it comes to XDTE, QDTE, and RDT, we'll look at that in the spreadsheet, but QDT came around 23 cents, XDTE around 25, RDT around 26. So those ones are staying super, super consistent. We love to see that. Let's jump into the spreadsheet and let's take a look at the numbers. How are we doing for the month of August? Well, July, we ended at 1572. Already in August, 1 weekend, we are at $558. I'm telling you, but since we dropped RDT, we lost about $250 worth of monthly income. We almost did that in our first week of Ulti already. So I think we're probably going to get around that 700-ish mark by the end of the month just from Ulti alone, which is going to catapult us closer to the 2,000 a month dividend goal that we have set. So 558 so far. That puts us at $11,331 worth of dividend income already, which is awesome to see. And our goal this month is $1,968. So it's going to get close, but I think we could probably do it. We're averaging about $2.13 an hour passively. That's crazy. Just let that sink in. I'm getting paid $2 an hour, 24/7, 365 just from my dividend income. Absolutely wow. Annual goal, 45% of the way there. August goal, we're about 28% of the way there on the first week. So we're on track to potentially get it done. What do we have coming in this week? Well, we talked about it. QDT coming in at 23 cents. That's about 60 bucks. XDT about 56 bucks. YMAX coming in at 72. And then TSLY at 30. Ulti is going to be coming in right around that 162 share or $162. So we have about $381 worth of dividend income that's going to be coming in this Friday. And then we're going to sprinkle in some more stuff, right? Next Tuesday, we'll hit some we'll get HOW, and we'll hit some TSLW, right? So those two are going to be sprinkled in on the Thursday. I'm kind of liking getting a little bit of Thursday and a little bit of the Friday income, and things are starting to stack. So where are we at? $228 worth of options income for August. In July alone, we did $275. So We're absolutely killing it when it comes to the options income. I don't think we're going to get assigned. I think we're on week 11 of successfully selling cash secured puts at low deltas and not getting assigned, bringing in some pennies. So that's what we're going to keep doing, and we're just going to keep stacking it. So how are we looking for this month? Wow, I should have, my apologies there. I should have changed the font on this, but it's pretty hard to do on the iPad. Anyway, so on this chart, we are at 558.25. 882 is what we did last year, so we want to be able to beat that, and I think we can do it. When it comes to the share count goals, these are what we're knocking at, right? So SHD, that'll probably get itself done by just the $5 a day. VTI, similar picture, might have to add a little bit more, but probably just by the $5 a day. XDTE, we had a 1,321. We just threw in 375 towards that, so we're going to reduce that a lot. We're going to bring up the drip, and we're going to get that sucker rolling. And then ulty, I think, will get itself done on its own as well. Probably going to take 10 to 12 weeks for ulty to make itself from 1,600 to the 2,000 share count goal, but we'll see. It's averaging, we'll probably end up averaging 25 to 30 shares a week on drip. We'll see. 2,300 left to get that done. And then when it comes to weekly dividends, how are we doing right now? QDTE, you can see, has dripped us 56 shares. Total return 16.48%. Not too bad. 7,200 left on house money. XDTE 11.53% total return, dripping us about 1.2 shares a week. Not too bad. Ulti, we've just started this one. It is a negative percent total return right now, about just under 1%. So far, we've dripped ourselves 46.5 shares. We've received $287 worth of dividends, and we're going to be rocking and rolling for this week, right? So the share count's building, and you can see that drip on 26. Obviously, the share count's going to just keep going higher and higher, and the higher it goes, the more shares that we drip. So that'll be fun to watch. ymax, this one's already dripped out. We've hit 500 back in week 31, and we're just chilling. So this one just keeps paying us each and every single week. And we take that money and we buy other stuff. We have $5,761 worth of house money until we are completely paid off on that. Speaking of house money, look how close we are on CONY. We've been receiving some dividends. CONY is now within a month or two of getting done. NVDY still possible by the end of the year. MSDY, we're down to just over 4 months, depending on the averages, right? Lately, they've been coming in at about $1.20. $1.18, $1.15, right around there. But the average still since inception is about $2.39 because we had some massive payouts in there. So what does that mean? We still have a ways to go, but I don't know, in the next 2 quarters, I still think we can get the house money, and then we're just absolutely printing money from there. And then TSLY, this one's just such a doozy, but it is what it is. 5.78 months to go. That's at the average of 1. You just saw we have a $30 payment coming in, so the average is just going to keep coming down. It's just going to take us longer and longer. Still, it is what it is. We'll probably get this one done, I don't know, in the next year, but I'm not too worried about it. We've already received $1,000 worth of dividends. We only spent $1,670 on our shares, so we have about $600 left to go after this week. We'll have less than $600 left to go until we're at house money. So I think everything is going to be good to go there. So that's where we're sitting right now in the account. That is the update for the week. Slowly but surely, we just continue. Slowly but surely, we just continue to rinse and repeat, right? We're at $20,000 worth of dividend income. You can see here, these are all the stocks we've collected on and ETFs. And not bad, close to the 21,000 since we started this account, but slowly but surely we just keep stacking. So that's the update for the account. Happy investing. Hope everybody is stacking. If you're stacking ulti, my gosh, this thing is an absolute payer. So we'll see how it goes compared to RDT now that we've dropped that, and hopefully it goes well. HOOY, I want to just keep stacking that one. Love that company, and things are going well. So happy investing. Don't forget to drop a like, and we'll catch you next video.